Why, good morning, my beautiful people at TikTok. It's so nice to see you. I'm in my kitchen. I'm making some coffee. I'm dying over here. I don't know who else is with me. Saturday morning kind of is cray-cray in my household. Anyways, good morning, everyone. We're going to get started on Sebastian Rogers. So Sebastian Rogers, we just got off, a melancholy case of Riley Strain. Riley Strain's case was just a horrific tragedy. It really was, and it was very sad to hear the outcome of that. Not an outcome that we wanted, right? Not an outcome that we wanted, but we got a lot of momentum in Nashville, right? We have a lot of momentum in Nashville. We have the Cajun Navy out there, and I'm pretty sure there was a lot of donations of gas. I wasn't personally out there to see those search efforts, but I know we were campaigning to get some gas. Apparently, there was a specific type of gas that they had a shortage in that specific region and could not locate any of this particular non-ethanol 93 octane gas that these airboats used. So, long story short, Riley Strain was, pulled out of the Cumberland River. It's not deemed foul play. It seems like he just went overboard. All the information that we had related to him being out of his shirt and stuff all did not pan out. He was found in that infamous shirt that we've seen him in the entire night, along with his watch. There was no robbery. There was no anything. It just sounds like he drank to excess and lost his life. I did a video on that. I did a heartfelt video because it's not even really getting a whole lot of views, but I dropped it at a weird time. I dropped it really late last night, so you might want to go check it out. And it's of the last press conference of the parents. It was heartbreaking for me. Like, I'm seriously sitting there, like, crying while I'm watching his mother tell people thank you. I'm getting goosebumps talking about it right now. It does something to me, seeing the pain on these parents. It just does something to me, and why I'm so active, why I like getting out there and getting involved and really trying to feel like I'm helping someone. I don't have a whole lot, but I have me, and I have me to give, right? So that's what I do. I'm going to actually be going out there and helping in the search for this young man here. This is Sebastian Rogers, folks. This is somebody that I need you guys to start paying attention to, especially our family here, our coffee club family in Tennessee. He's from Tennessee, Hendersonville, Tennessee, and a lot of people in Hendersonville still don't know this boy is missing. He's been missing since the day Maddie went missing. That's correct. Similar circumstances. Madeline, her mother said she got up and her boyfriend took her to school, and the school tells her mom she never made it to school. We find out she never got there. We find out that the boyfriend actually unalived her much earlier in the day. Long story, a little longer. His was similar in nature. His mom wakes up at that morning to take him to school, right? To take him to school, his own mother, and she says he's not there. There are several issues here that I have. One, I don't know if the parents are involved. Let me just throw that out there. I don't want to mislead my audience in the slightest bit about the mom and the stepfather. I have no information to support or deny their involvement in anything. So I can't say that they didn't do it. I can't say that they did do it. You see what I'm saying? I don't have enough information. The information we have is skewed. The other information that we have, like video evidence and stuff like that, we don't even know what we're really looking at. So yes, we can imply certain things with it, but is what we're implying true? I mean, I want the truth. I don't know about y'all, right? I'm not here to hear what I want to hear or people pander to my conspiracy theories. I want the damn truth. I don't know the truth in this case. I don't know. I can tell you it's highly suspicious. One thing I can tell you about the background of the stepfather, Chris Proudfoot, is he's from military. And, he keeps touting that he passed his polygraph test, but we don't know if he put countermeasures in there. Did he learn countermeasures through, his military career? We don't know. He's saying he passed it. We're not hearing shit from law enforcement. I ain't lying to you. Law enforcement hasn't come out and said they cleared anybody in this case. They haven't said they even cleared Seth, which was miles and miles away from this boy. Seth is his biological father, by the way. And everybody is looking squarely at the stepfather. And the stepfather keeps coming out and he keeps trying to tell people it's not him. But I'm starting to see some behavioral changes in him as the pressure is mounting. And that's why we do pressure campaigns and try to get these people to break through a variety of reasons. And it's usually coming on and just peppering them with questions and making sure that they have the same answer, and the same answer is consistent from story to story. Well, here in this case with Sebastian Rogers, his mother breaks my heart because she's always so sad on all these interviews. But I caught her misstating facts. And I don't know what to do with that, right? I mean, I clearly heard them with my own ears. And I'll tell you guys how you guys can check this, and you can fact check me. I want people to fact check me. Go to Chronicle of Olivia. Well, Chris Proudfoot had an interview when he was in this green shirt, and he has scratches on his arms, guys. He has scratches on his arm, visible scratches on his arm during this during this interview. And this was days after Sebastian disappeared. He's trying to say that those scratches are from their dog. And I'm like, okay, now we're starting to get a little weird. Why is this man got scratches all up on his arm, and why is he so defensive? He had scratches on his arm, but I digress. That's not the point. When they were in that green shirt doing that first interview with their face, go back and fact check this. Now go over to Chronicle of Olivia's YouTube page and look at her interview she did with them. Katie Proudfoot, and this is, I'm not making this stuff up. Katie Proudfoot told the reporter when Chris and her were sitting together while he was in that green shirt with the scratches on his arm, that she got up that morning. She couldn't find Sebastian, her son right here. He's autistic, by the way, and he's a high-functioning autistic boy. She couldn't find him, so she runs around the house, and she almost describes a panic, like she was panicking. So she immediately calls Chris and says, I can't find him. I don't know where he is. I can't find him. And so they're like, did you check here? Did you check here? Did you look under here? And she's like, yeah, he's not here. Well, we need to call law enforcement. They say that they immediately three-way law enforcement. Now you got to go back and fact check this for Bullhorn Betty, because I think you'll be surprised. Look under the hood, folks. Look under the hood. Don't take my word for it. Don't take my word for it. So that was in that interview with that news reporter. Well, so it just so happens our beautiful Chronicles of Olivia, my BFF, I travel all over the country with her, and she did an interview. I was shocked. I didn't know. I didn't even know she was in Tennessee this time because I've been so busy with some other stuff. I had no idea. And she got in front of Chris and Katie and asking them, but she didn't really have a whole lot with this case. This interview was set up by a friend. And so she was going in there authentically. She wanted to know what was going on, which sometimes I think is the best, when you have too much information, I think it makes you biased going into an interview sometimes. Well, Olivia wasn't biased. And so she's just walking them through this, just trying to get as much information about their stepson as possible, Chris's stepson and Katie's son as possible. And so she asked them to describe that day, that morning that Sebastian disappeared. And this is where Katie dropped this bomb, but nobody blew it up on social media. And I'm like, am I the only one that heard this? And Katie specifically tells Olivia she got up, she couldn't find him around the house. She got in her car. She drove around the neighborhood. She went to the school. Oh, and while Chris is choking next to him, and then you hear Katie going, just silence. And then she's like, oh, yeah. And then we call 911 on three-way. And I'm like, am I in the Twilight Zone over here? Did I just hear what I think I heard? I mean, on one hand, I could have sworn she said in this... Where's my other phone? I don't have my other phone here. I'm drinking coffee. Good morning, by the way, guys. Get yourself a cup of coffee. Come on in. Let's chat about this. So then she goes on Chronicles of Olivia and tells them all this. So what was it? Did you look around the house, immediately call your husband, and y'all immediately call 911? Or did you look around your house, get in your car, drive around the block, drive to his school, come back home, and on your way home, call Chris and say, oh, by the way, because she told, I'm telling you, on that first interview, she like told the news organization, well, he doesn't really go outside. I can't remember. She implied like he doesn't go outside. That's why she was looking in all the cubby holes inside the house. So, and then she specifically says he's not a runner. So, like, I don't know a lot, and I don't want to be accusatory because there's really nothing out there to point the finger at this family other than suspicion. I mean, we suspect that something happened inside the home because their story doesn't make sense. This boy is autistic. He doesn't run and doesn't like to go outside without something covering his feet. Yet he woke up in the middle of the night, let himself out of the house in the middle of the night, and he left the house without any shoes or socks on? It doesn't make sense. He doesn't have friends, so it's not like friends are coming over and wanting to go out drinking in the park or doing some shenanigans. He's a very sheltered child because he has this disability. So I don't get it. If he has no friends, there's no any outside influences to coax him out. They even went as far to say that they don't even let him on the internet. Like, he doesn't even have internet access for, somebody to have conversations with him. He loves to play Minecraft, but apparently it's just the game. It's not connected to the internet. So he has no internet influences. He's got no friends influences. I mean, they were pretty isolated. He didn't really have a whole lot going on. It seemed like mom and him were kind of together, and Chris went off to work for weeks on end. This doesn't make sense. According to their story, it only left him in mom's custody and mom's custody alone on a weekend. Now, we learned that Chris Proudfoot works at the All Children's Hospital, or, what is it? He's a crane operator. He's a big crane operator. I thought it was the Moffitt Cancer Center, but it's not. It's some kind of, I think it's a child center, a children's center, some type of medical facility that I'm assuming that they're rehabbing, building up, adding to, whatever the job is. I can't remember. If it's really that important to you, do research those facts. It's not important to me. The bottom line is he's a construction worker that's working on site. He's living in an RV because it's 3.5 hours away. But guys, it's only 3.5 hours away. It's not even a day trip. Right? It's only 3.5 hours away. So my question would be, why didn't he come home that weekend? If he wasn't working Saturday or Sunday, why didn't he come home? Or did he? Is all this just smoke and mirrors because he did come home and something happened inside that home? I just recently learned that Chris Proudfoot, now again, this is all rumors. He's offered for people to reach out to him, and I know that a lot of my counterparts here on TikTok as well as YouTube probably have already reached out to him and stuff like that. But I'm not one that, I like to reach out with very thoughtful and thought-provoking questions. I don't want to just come in there and accuse somebody of something. I want to find information. And I think that that's what's lacking here. When you have an opportunity to speak to somebody that you think is guilty, you telling them that or coming from that, it's putting up a wall, a defense to them, and you want more authenticity. So I always tell people, there's a time and a place when you need to get rough, and when they're blowing smoke, you need to start introducing some, showing them that you know what you're talking about, right? And that they're not being truthful or honest. But you always want to be respectful, and you never want to have those walls going up going into the interview, because you got a lot of breaking down to do to start the interview process, because you need that person to feel comfortable with you, right? So it's not about, we can all have our opinions, but when you have an opportunity to ask questions, find out answers, quit being so accusatory. Like I keep seeing, and I felt bad, not bad for them, because I don't know what's going on, and they may be horrible parents. I don't know them. But when they are going off, everybody's wanting to talk to them about their time, their day, and this, that, and the other. It's not beneficial or helpful to finding the location of Sebastian. We need to be more thought-provoking responses from them to identify where in the world Chris may have been that day. Where Katie may have been that day. Everybody's so adamant on what's going on inside the home that happened before him that nobody's asking about that day in question. If we can find some more information, because we're being focused on stuff that doesn't matter to that day. Do we think that they did? Our opinion doesn't matter when we're trying to derive a question, when we're trying to derive information about a missing child. So those are the things that I see, from creators that are doing these interviews. It just, some constructive criticism, God bless the people that are out there trying to find answers. But we really need to try, if you have an opportunity, let's hone in on where these people were on the day in question, because that's the one that we have Swiss cheese for a timeline. We need to build a great timeline. Us here on social media, we have a great platform to be able to do a lot of different things. And one of those things is getting our audience to help us build timelines, right? And when you have creators that are just attacking the parents, we can't build the fucking timeline. Okay? The timeline for people like me that actually go out into the field is very, very, very important. Okay? Because I need a timeline. I need to know where people were, because I got to go investigate them. It's called investigative research. So anyways, that's where I'm at. I'm going to be starting from scratch, from square one, but I am going to the area. I'm going to start using this platform to advocate for this autistic boy. We got a great momentum here with the Riley Strain case in this community. I think it's a great a push that we can really get some real attention to this young boy and really try to find out what happened. I do want to focus on the fact that the Cajun Navy and EquiSearch is in town. So let's try to get them to at least do 24 hours for this boy. If you know people from the Cajun Navy or EquiSearch, please, please, please say while you're in town, do a double ender, right? Because they're already there. They've already wasted the gas and all that stuff to get to Nashville. Come on over. Just give us 24 hours. Give us 24 hours of your time for this autistic boy. So you guys can do that. Get on your horns, get on your bullhorns, right? And start going out to your other creators. Let's start reaching out to this Navy, the Cajun Navy, and say, hey, you guys are right there. Can you just give us 24 hours? Just give us 48 hours. Give us what you can. I'm telling you, the people here on these social media channels will support them. We will make sure that they have their gas. We will make sure that they have the necessary supplies that they need if they're out there helping us. So there are TikTokers that are already begging for the Cajun Navy as well as EquiSearch to please just get involved. Give us some direction for this case. Keep our fingers crossed. You guys go do your work to help us with that, and we'll keep doing our work here trying to get as much information from behind the scenes as possible. I am going to be boots on the ground just as soon as I get my car back. My car has been in the shop for literally 2 weeks. 2 weeks and 3 days on Monday when I get it back. I'm going absolutely stir crazy. That means I had literally been in this house for 2 weeks, okay? Have you guys heard of cabin fever? Okay, I didn't know it existed, okay? I'm surprised I don't have a fucking tin hat at this point. I've been locked up. They talk about those, what makes a mean dog? One that's locked up. I'm going, right? I'll be going out in the car and somebody's going to look at me and I'm going to start growling at him. What's wrong with you? Oh, I'm sorry. I've been locked up too long. I've been locked up too long. So anyways, guys, serious situation here. This is Sebastian Rogers. Know his face, know his name. Start getting your favorite commentators, your favorite social media influencers. Start telling them about this case. Start making this case. We got good resources out there. We need to get this case brought to the surface so we can get the Cajun Navy and EquiSearch out there to help this boy. He has been gone since February 26th. He has not had his medications. It's not looking good. We need help. We need help. God bless you. I know you guys can do it. I know you guys can do it. Rock it out with your coffee beans out. God bless.